my whole life, I ran from God. I loved God, but I didn't like him very much.
Hmm.
And I definitely didn't trust him. I grew up in the church and I was just kind of like burnt out. I was like sick of all the hypocrisy. I was like,
Yeah.
again, with all the charismatic stuff, I'm like, this stuff is all nuts.
Yeah.
But like, and I remember thinking that the reason I didn't trust God was because I was convinced that all he wanted from me was for me to be a worker bee. He just wanted me
Hmm.
to get in line and do what he wanted me to do, right?
Yeah, man.
Like what I wanted didn't matter. It's your will be done, not mine. It's all about like just get in line,
Self-denial,
do
and
yes,
that's it for the
yes.
rest of your life. Yeah.
I have dreams. I have I have things I want to do. Doesn't matter. You have to be a missionary. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what I always
Yeah.
because that's the greatest sacrifice you can make for God. Go
Mhm.
overseas and be a missionary for him or
I
something.
did it, man. Yeah.
That was my worst nightmare. Like,
Yeah.
don't send me to Africa. Just don't send me to Africa. And so I've been there like 5 times since.
Yeah. Oh,
But
the
no,
irony. Yeah.
so yeah, so I basically was like, I just didn't trust him. And so I remember I left and I went up to like there's a balcony area. I just wanted to be like very alone because this was I was really shook. And I remember I laid down or I sat down on the ground. I said, God, what are you doing to me? What's happening? Because I knew this is real.
Mhm.
And I had at that moment I had the very first vision I've ever had in my life. It just came up like a video screen,
Come on.
and I saw this picture, and people don't know this, and I never said this to anybody, but my greatest memory as a kid was playing baseball catch with my dad.
Mhm.
My dad is an artist, and he had a home studio, and I'd always go out and like, can we play catch? And no matter what he was doing, he'd always say, sure, let's do it. He'd stop. He was a potter. He'd stop what he was
Mhm.
doing, and we'd go out and we'd play for 10 minutes. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
But that was the height of like being a kid, where you're just hanging with your dad. You're doing something you both like.
Yeah.
So that was my thing. And so this vision, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Natural with Robert Redford.
I
It's
haven't.
it's an old like '80s like baseball movie. But at the end of the movie, there's a Robert Redford and his son. They're playing catch in a field of wheat, and so that's the vision that he gives me. I see, is
Mhm.
me and the father in this field of wheat, and we have baseball gloves. And the Lord then spoke to me Himself, and it broke me forever. And all He said was, "Do you want to play catch?"
Ugh, man.
And he threw me the ball.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm telling you, I was a puddle of tears for 15 minutes. Nothing was spoken. It was just a vision. It just kept playing. It was just throwing the ball back and forth. And I
Mm.
was crying harder than I've ever cried in my life. Because for the first time in my life, I understood that God didn't want anything from me. He just wanted me. And that's what broke me. Like it was like his very gentle way of saying, "Don't be afraid of me. I'm your dad, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I'm way better than you think I am.
Man.
And I don't want anything." And it just broke me, man. And so then I remember the vision ended, and I heard him say, "Get up." Now remember, I'm like not a person who's ever heard from the Lord. Like I don't.
Mhm.
This is new.
Yeah.
And he said, I heard him say, "Get up." So I get up. I'm just a mess. And he says, "Walk to the edge of the balcony." And so I walked to the edge, and he says, "Now look at them. Look over the edge and look at them." And I looked, and it was like he put new glasses on my eyes. And everybody's just being totally charismatic. It's like, they're shaking, they're quacking
Uh-huh.
like ducks. They're just, they're doing their thing. But it was like he put glasses on, and I saw like hurt, pain, fear,
Yeah.
abuse, doubt. I just saw all their
Man.
junk that they're dealing with. And then it lifted, and the last thing he said to me, he said, "Will you make it for them? Will you make it to show my people how much I love them?"
Man.
Now, remember, dude, I'm thinking this is a short film about weird stuff, right? And I'm like, I don't know. I told him, I don't know how this idea is going to show anybody that you love them, but at this point, I'm yours. I'll do
Mhm.
whatever you ask me to do.
Mhm.